Hello, everyone. How's it hanging? So, I've been doing some research because I've been wondering why there's so many pussies in the world today. Why there's so many freaking men walking around with freaking buns in their head, hair buns, and why so many men are walking around with. You know what? Don't even get me started on freaking my observations on men today, because a lot of you people are just going to get pissed the fuck off. Um, what is a man today? It's definitely not the same definition of what it was 50 years ago. That's for sure. And why is that? It's because our testosterone levels are dropping. And when I say ours, I'm talking about everyone's. And except for the people that are really aware of it. You know, I mean, what are you really aware of today? You're aware that you're alive and that you have a job and you need to freaking earn a paycheck and sustain your life, basically, right? But we don't really put a lot of thought into what we're eating. We go to the grocery store and you know, we load up our baskets with chicken and beef and pork and all this other processed food and shit, and we don't freaking think twice about what we're putting in our bodies. Um, and ultimately, we're lowering our testosterone levels, and there's little we can do about it, but there is something we can do about it. I mean, if you're gonna walk around blind, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. You're just gonna grow up to be a big pussy, you know. You're gonna grow up to be a half woman, you know, or more. You know what I mean? You're gonna be fucked up. You're gonna think you're a woman. You're gonna freaking want to be. You're gonna become one of these transgender freaks, you know. So if you're a man, and you know you're a man, and you want to be a man, you might want to do a little research on what it takes to keep your testosterone levels up. And I mean, we need estrogen levels too. You know what I mean? We need them both, but men definitely need more testosterone levels than estrogen. And what the food industry has been doing in the last 50 years has pretty much destroyed the has destroyed what it means to be a man, really naturally. You know, because I can see it. I can see it. You know, all of a sudden there's just a bunch of freaking pussies walking around. You know what I mean? It's awful. I don't like what's going on. So anyway, let's talk about let's talk about estrogen levels and testosterone levels. Okay, we need both of them, of course, you know, and we need to balance them out, of course. But it turns out that we've been consuming a lot of products that are decreasing our testosterone levels, and that's what I want to talk about. Um, Foods to stay away from. Now, this is going to be difficult for a lot of us because everything that all the farm animals, most of the farm animals, are being fed soy. Okay, and soy decreases testosterone levels. Um, Soy is in everything. It's in chicken feed. It's in beef feed. They're saying that if you want to increase your levels of testosterone, you just need to start eating more grass-fed beef, and that beef has fat in it. And they're saying the fat in that beef also increases your testosterone levels. Now, we know red meat isn't good for us, and they're also saying that cholesterol and testosterone are like the same thing, and that they lied to us for years. See, the food industry has been lying to us about a lot of shit for a lot of years. Um, and they're saying that the beef, the red meat, is bad for you. Okay, and I haven't even researched that, and I don't eat a lot of red meat, but I do eat some. It's almost like my body's telling me what I need, because I enjoy a nice burger every now and then, even though I've been told it's bad for me. You know what I mean? So I try to eat chicken. Well, guess what? The chicken is even worse for you than the burger, right? Because the chicken, unless it's a free range chicken that's not being fed any soy, because most of the chickens out there, the mass produced chicken companies are feeding their chickens soy because it's cheap, and their chickens are they're full of this soy. So you're eating a chicken and you're eating this soy, which is dropping your testosterone levels. Okay? And then you're eating the chicken's eggs, right? Because everybody likes breakfast, and then what else do we put eggs in? Every freaking thing, you know what I mean? Cakes and brownies and freaking baked goods, and you know what I mean? It's endless what we're using eggs for. Salad dressings, mayonnaise, you know what I'm saying? So soy is killing us. Soy is freaking killing us. It's killing the man. Soy is killing the man. So we want to avoid. And they're saying soy is good for you, but we're just getting too much because it's in every freaking thing now. They're saying that they did research on men, right? And they fed these men chickens and eggs from free-range non-soy product farms, and then they fed these other ones chickens that were all soy-fed farm animals, right? Chickens, and they said that the men that ate the soy-fed chickens were 4 times more likely to have increased estrogen levels than any other than the other half of the group. And they also saying that the chicken feces, the chicken shit, is higher in estrogen levels than any other farm animal. And I'm like chicken, man. Chicken, I love chicken. I gotta eat chicken. You know what I mean? It's lean. It's fucking good. It's good for me. It's healthy. And I'm being lied to, man. So now I gotta start buying, because I go into the grocery store and I'll buy a $7 chicken or something like that, or I'll buy chicken breasts for 4 chicken breasts for like $9 or something like that. And those are the chicken breasts that are being fed soy. And then the other day I was looking at this chicken. It was $15 for a whole chicken, and it was free range chicken, and they're a lot more expensive, but they're not going to have these soy levels. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to do a little more. I'm gonna have to change my diet, man. Plastics. They're saying that plastics. Okay, there's a lot of Tupperware items that are still, they're trying to reduce the BPA levels in plastics, which they really can't do. And what they do is when the plastic gets hot, it releases this estrogen somehow, and they're saying that when you microwave something, or you pour hot coffee in a plastic cup or something like that, you're lowering your testosterone levels. Like, you're just dropping them like crazy. Now, they're saying that if you take your chicken or your eggs or whatever, and you put them in a plastic container, and you put it in a microwave, and you cook it in that, then you're basically lowering your testosterone levels. If you keep a bottle of water in your car and it gets hot and then it cools down and you drink it, well, guess what? You're lowering your testosterone levels. Okay, so there's all these things going on that are lowering our testosterone levels that corporations are pushing on us. The BPAs, what they do is they trigger the brain to think that we have more estrogen receptors. Okay? And when the brain thinks we have more estrogen receptors, then the body's taking in more estrogen. You understand? So it's actually changing our DNAs. Yeah, it's changing these plastics that we're heating up and consuming the product in. They're changing our DNA. They're making our brains think differently for our body. A healthy body, healthy mind. Well, not anymore. If you're consuming these plastics or products that are warmed up or heated in plastic, then you are changing your brain. You're changing your brain. You're changing the way your brain thinks, and it's not for the good, because you're fooling your body. You're lying to your body. Now your brain is lying to your body, and I don't know what you're going to be able to do about that. I'd say just avoid eating anything that comes out of plastic that's warm. or plastic anyway. I freaking can't stand plastic, and I'm constantly drinking water out of plastic bottles. You know, I keep a whole case in my car. You know, and right now it's not a big deal because it's winter. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm gonna have to start keeping it out of my car because it gets pretty warm. So that's a bad thing. I gotta stop doing that. What else? Men who were exposed to the BPA's were 3 to 4 times more likely to have lower sperm counts, lower testosterone levels, and higher estrogen levels. And this is from the BPA's, the plastics, okay, from heating them up. Now, there's a few foods that, 50 years ago, people really didn't consume that much soy. Today, the levels of soy consumption are significantly higher in society right now, and that's what's responsible for lowering our testosterone levels. That's what's responsible for all these little kids. What's in that little baby's milk? I bet that's made out of soy, right? Soy milk for your infant. Yeah, feed your freaking little boy infant soy milk and see how he freaking grows up. Okay. Cholesterol and fat. They actually increase testosterone levels. Cholesterol, in fact, cholesterol and testosterone are pretty much the same thing. They're like cholesterol is like the building blocks of testosterone. I'm pretty sure. And that's another thing they lied to us about. Cholesterol causes heart disease, and you'll have a heart attack if you eat eggs, and bullshit. Okay. Sugar, starch, carbs. They lower testosterone levels. So cut your sugars out. I started cutting my sugars out, man. I don't even buy sugar anymore. I used to eat sugar a lot. Now I just use honey. And it turns out honey is a very, very good food for increasing your testosterone levels naturally. Okay, so if you eat 2 tablespoons of honey a day, or I think it's 4 tablespoons of honey a day, 4 teaspoons of honey a day, you can increase your levels of testosterone naturally. That's one way of doing it. Stress lowers your testosterone levels, and I don't manage my stress very well. So that's something I really need to work on. They say if you work out like really hard for just a few minutes, like 10 minutes, like if you do jumping jacks, do 100 jumping jacks, that's going to increase your testosterone level. Get down on the floor and do 50 freaking push-ups. That's going to increase your testosterone levels. If you run as fast as you can for as long as you can, that's going to increase your testosterone levels. And they're saying short workouts, short, heavy, intense workouts, like a lot of weight, more weight than you can handle. They're saying that's going to increase your testosterone level. Okay, zinc, 25 to 50 milligrams a day. Men, you need to take your zinc vitamins. If you're not getting your zinc, then you need to take a supplement. This is very important to getting your testosterone levels to the levels that they should be. Magnesium as well. Get a magnesium supplement. A vitamin D. Get out in the sun. Vitamin D the sun is really, really good for increasing your testosterone levels. I used to ride around in the kayaks every freaking weekend without my shirt on and just a pair of shorts, and I felt so freaking good, man. Yeah, maybe that was my problem, man. I was just like way too high testosterone. Fasting, starving yourself 18 to 20 hours, like once a week, will increase your testosterone levels. We covered the fat. We covered the plastics. Foods to eat to increase your testosterone levels and live a healthier life. The Mediterranean diet. This is supposed to be this is like supposed to be the best diet that you can possibly eat regularly. Veggies, nuts, whole grains, and extra virgin olive oil, red wines, fats, like I was saying, in beef, Um, honey, honey and garlic. Garlic is also a really good one. Um, and remember, farm fed or grass-fed farm animals. That's the kind of animals that we want to eat. Also, vitamin A. We want to make sure we get plenty of vitamin A. Now I'm going to run through a list of foods that you can eat that will help increase your testosterone levels. Okay, nuts, oysters. There's a lot of zinc in oysters, so they recommend oysters for men. Oatmeal is a very, very good um, testosterone increasing food. So they're saying if you eat oatmeal every day, that's really good. 4 eggs, of course, free range that aren't consuming soy. Okay, cabbage is a really good one too. Honey, I already told you about that one. Asparagus is really good. Garlic. I put fresh garlic in just about everything I freaking cook, man. Just because I know it's good for me, but I had no idea that it was so good for your testosterone levels. Also, bananas and grapes. The red grapes, eat a bunch of those every day for higher testosterone levels. And I'm worried about the future of mankind. I really am. And I know that society is dumbing down. They're really getting dumbed down. Society is ever more dependent on society, on itself. What would you do without a grocery store? How would you eat without a grocery store? Have you ever freaking thought about what you would do if there were no grocery stores? I mean, these are serious freaking things to think about here. You know, so when you walk into a grocery store and you're throwing all this shit in your basket and you don't even freaking think twice about what you're putting in there, especially these processed foods, they're the worst. They're the worst thing we can put in our bodies. And I don't eat GMOs. I know I eat GMOs, but I try not to. Okay, like I've seen what GMO corn can do to laboratory rats and shit. I've seen what other um, GMOs can do. You know, and I know that there's corn syrup in my beer, and there's corn in this, and there's corn in that, and there's freaking corn in every freaking thing, you know. But I'm trying to avoid it, man. I'm trying to avoid the foods that I know are harmful to me. So, anyway, I hope you learned something. I would research this. Seriously, I would research this. There's a video that you can look up on YouTube. It's called "Top 4 Sources of Estrogen Men Should Avoid." I strongly recommend you watch this video, and he'll cover a lot of what I said in here, but he goes into more depth to explain exactly how everything works. So check that video out. I also recommend foods that increase testosterone levels, and research that. Also, harmful foods that increase estrogen levels. I would also look into that. If you're planning on raising a family or whatever, it's very, very important what you're going to feed your children today. More important than it ever has been in fucking history. It's more important now to know what you're putting in to your children's bodies and your own, if you want them to grow up to be a normal, functioning human being. I mean, don't you think it's a little strange that all of a sudden everybody's confused about whether they're a man or a woman? That's because we're all fucked up. Our levels are all fucked up. Our estrogen levels are fucked up. Our estrogen levels are up and our testosterone levels are down. So I think I'm pretty good. I do. I think I'm pretty freaking good. I think I'm pretty balanced out because of the research that I've done and what I've been eating now. I've been eating some harmful foods like whole wheat. They're saying whole wheat is so bad. Whole wheat is so bad for you. Stop eating whole wheat. Whole wheat, it sits around and like ferments. It has to. So it grows like a fungus, right? And this fungus is responsible for high estrogen levels when you eat whole wheat. So stop fucking eating whole wheat. I stopped eating that about freaking 6 years ago. They also say that whole wheat will make your hair fall out. Imagine that. Yeah, and I freaking ate it for like 15 years, man, and I got a little bald spot that was getting worse and worse and worse. Of course, when I moved to Denver, the stress levels were so freaking high that also made my hair thin out a lot. But it's starting to come back in thick again. So that's good. But it's mostly because of the foods that I'm eating. So I would just like you to be aware of what the food industry is doing to us. And it's not good. Okay? So spread the words. Okay? Guys, get your testosterone levels up. And the children, if you have little boys, get their testosterone levels up too, or they might think that they're a little girl. And that's exactly what's happening, all right? So peace out, man. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. Hope your future is going to be a little more manly.